Okay, we're just going to keep adding here. We got Trump, we got field banks, now we've got the Philadelphia water scare. It's not a scare. There were chemicals poured into the water, and they're told, don't drink it. Oh, by the way, okay, you can drink it now, but Monday you won't be able to drink it again. Do you realize that this is how we live every day? But here's why we're hearing so much out there about the failed systems, dissolving of things, corruption. People that normally, they'd be protected, aren't protected anymore. I'm going to share with you, again, what's coming, what we can expect, and how this could be the most amazing thing we can actually float through, or you can put on your seatbelt. It depends on how you see it all. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. I hope you will share my videos everywhere. You know, conspiracy theories and all the cray-cray stuff, they get tons of subscribers. People like me, and it's not exciting to hear that you actually are okay. Everything's going to be okay. The world is actually okay, and that we hold great power from this moment forward as to what happens in that world. It's not in stone. It is not something that a psychic can tell you, and that's just how it is. I've talked a lot about the predictions of our future, and they may know some of these, actually the few talented ones, because a lot of them are, just taking advantage of people who want to tell me the future. The ones who really know are using it as a warning system to say, hey, listen, this is the track you're on. And if you don't change it, these are things that can come to pass. That's all it is. What does that mean? That means we can change it in a nanosecond. It's not like, oh, well, it's going to happen. I can't do anything about it. Now, here's what's happening. The foundations of the government, people in government, and by the way, it's not just one person that you're hearing about. It's a whole slew of them. You can't hang out in the basement unless you're in the dark, dirty, rat-infested areas. You've got to go in there, even if you have good intentions. And there are some people with good intentions. There are a lot of people in those high-level places that are going to start to step out into the light and reveal some of the things going on and affect it in a very meek way. I use the word meek because the meek shall inherit the earth. They're not the one waving their fists and telling us to oppose one another or go into violence. And anyone who would do that is of density. I want you to remember that. When you stand up for any cause and you separate yourself, you're behaving in a way that allows us to continue on the trajectory we've been on that some of these forecasts have predict. What's happening? Now, we saw that there's a Philadelphia scare with the water. I want you to know that studies show, and these things have been squashed, studies show that women here in the United States are walking around with toxins from plastic in their breast milk. It's rampant from water. Because everything we do, that we flush down, all that stuff, it's going into our water systems that cannot be removed. So when we hear something about Philadelphia, if you're hearing that, can you imagine what's going on with everything else? And this is why I tell you, we have to step up to the plate, grow the big kahunas. All right? And if you have some arguments about they're doing this, they're doing that, I have one thing to say. You haven't heard me say this in a long time. Shut your pie hole. They are not the problem. It's like taking a child who's falling down, who hasn't learned how to walk, and blaming them. You should be walking, get on that bike and what? No, they're not there yet. So we want to nurture them. We want to show, here's how you do it, and here I'm going to help you, and let's work together. And you may say, oh, that's all woo-woo, or these people are, well, you know what? Then you are creating the conflict that has existed on the planet. And I know it's tough because when you go to this level of peace, you will see things completely different. No one else is a problem. They're part of your experience that you chose to be in. More and more things are coming to light because we are not tolerating it, and there are those in this foundational system that are bringing it into light now. Bringing it into light. Revealing things that normally people wouldn't talk about because they either disappear or black ops are hovering over the house and they're saying, I don't care. I don't care anymore because, you know what? We're becoming the majority of people. I know you may not think so, but everybody out there who's in fear or separation, who's still blaming and watching the conspiracy and watching the negativity. Somebody was upset because I said Trump and failed banks, just the start, said, you didn't tell me about Trump. I said I never intended to. A, don't watch it, so couldn't tell you the first thing about it. B, don't care. C, all I know is it's just the start of what's being revealed, that's not placing others' best interests in mind. Everything that you see falling down has not placed others' best interests in mind, not service to others. Banks, corporations, pharmaceutical companies are not placing your best interests in mind. Somebody said, don't some pharmaceuticals help? Of course they do. There's a balance of everything. Even our challenges allow us to triumph and know who and what we are. Illnesses allow you to know what it's like to be healthy and be grateful for that. So it's not bad. There's no bad nor good. There's just been an imbalance and we're coming back into it. Now, I told you there's been a split. I'm not going to talk about the split anymore because we're in it so deep right now. We're so past that tipping point. It's happening right now. So however you react, you think, what you choose is exactly where you're going to be in your frequency, your reality, that dimension. And we don't know how this works, but I do know frequencies. And I know that I could be standing in a room seeing something beautiful and you might think there's something horrible going on. It's our perception, and through the perception we actually create the reality. Also, you're creating that out there. And as a collective, we are experiencing it together, but you as an individual do not have to see it as something horrible. You don't. You see it as a training ground opportunity for growth. So I want you to ask yourself, how much is ego talking? Because all those things out there have been egos that have not placed others first. If there's any chemical that could be harmful, it should never be used. But we live a life like that. Our foods, how we clean our homes, all of it. We have to shift. You guys saw now, and you could hate Amazon, but there are a lot of small business owners, thanks to that platform, who are flourishing by giving products, selling products that are healthy. And until that system changes, well, I'm going to use it. I have a link down here, and I've tested a lot of products. You don't need plastic. You just don't need it. Things can come in paper. Stop using those tubes of toothpaste that you know if you swallow it, you're supposed to go into poison control. And we live in a world, we accept this. It's sort of like some bizarre science fiction movie, isn't it? Oh, dear, I cleaned my teeth. I must go into poison control. I swallowed it. All right, honey. Might cause seizures, anxiety, suicide, death. Bye. My teeth are white. This is insanity. So why are you going into insanity and trying to have conversations with it? I always tell my friends, I said, would you go into an insane asylum, live there, and try to sit and have a conversation and logical conversation with somebody who's gone? No. And that's what's going on here. They're just in a different space. They're in a different space. So you can only affect them by shifting your frequency, and that means you don't see them as the enemy because they are you. They're the same energy field. You got to go to this next level. There's no one to blame. There's no one to even forgive because all of it is purposeful. Everyone's either a teacher, right? Or you are the teacher or you are the student. It goes back and forth constantly. We contribute. Everybody that comes in your life, it's not a coincidence. So we're going to see more and more of these foundations dissolving, collapsing, dissolving, collapsing. It's making way for the good, the new. It's making way for the new, positive service to others. And you could say, oh, that doesn't sound so good. Am I going to lose my ability to, compete or what? No, of course not. Even competition can be service to others. If you're accomplishing goals, but it doesn't exclude people, there's nothing wrong with it. We don't have to be automatons. And even artificial intelligence doesn't have to threaten us. We could use it for good. Money doesn't threaten us. Money doesn't corrupt. It is not evil. It can be used for amazing things. Anything can. Atomic power was never meant to kill people. It could have been used for amazing things and nothing else. But we, as human beings, we're always protecting ourselves out of fear. Break through the fear. I can't say this enough. If you guys want to come over, I'm showing you how to break through fear. Once you do, you're going to recognize how much you're watching all this stuff out there and going, oh, the world's a horrible place. No, it's not. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's this way. We're doing it. We're doing it. Nobody's doing it to you. And by the way, how you think of that world is your contribution to the collective. If you think it's evil or fearful or, then that's what you're putting out there. And everyone is affected by that. Or you could see the beauty in others and see the fear in them and know that you going into fear will solve none of this conflict, that you must go into love and light no matter what. Ye are all gods, these things you shall do and more, and Christ on the cross forgave his murderers and the criminals next to him. But he didn't really have to do that. He was already in that place where he knew nobody did anything wrong in the first place. They were playing their roles, and through it, we get to know what we are. You cannot know the penthouse or appreciate it unless you've been in that basement. Are you in the basement? You're hanging out with other people in the basement and whatever else is there, and it's pretty dark. You have that choice today. Get ready. We're going to see more and more and more, and you don't have to be in fear about it. And so some people warn you, get ready, you're going to see this and that, and what? Is it conflict? Are you going to participate in it? If you are, the consequences of that will be great. Not to the rest of us, to you. So if you're taking sides, going into conflict, going into right and wrong, if you're listening to anybody who's doing things that are separating us, pointing fingers, arguing, you are in the basement. You don't want to be there because there's another place. And I guarantee you, no matter what happens out there, you'll see it so completely different. And you're going to go into a space of such euphoria. And when things happen, because challenges will continue because these things have to dissolve, you will be the person contributing to that change. And you may invent something or have your own business that you start that helps people find options for whatever it is they're seeking. You're going to recommend products or develop products that are healthy for people. You're going to show people how to heal themselves. You might write beautiful music that has healing effects. You don't have to be the healer. You don't have to be all those things. You could just be the person who has some neighborhood organization that brings food to people that may be neglected. Maybe they don't qualify for certain programs, but they could still use a little love. You're going to see so many more things. And by the way, these things have been going on. It's just we're going to hear about them now because people are okay with talking about it and saying this isn't okay. This isn't okay. Because we don't want to live like this anymore. But we will not go into conflict. I will be the light. Are you going to be the light? It starts today. You will have abundance. You will have health. You will have joy. You will get excited again. You'll get passionate, but not if you're doing things that you don't feel like you're in alignment with. I gave up my investment banking position over 8 years ago. Big deal. Private jets. Who cares? Didn't make me happy. Nothing wrong with private jets. But everything around it wasn't a good place to be. I never expected to be sitting here talking to you. But here I am. You're not just that person that doesn't have any value. You have amazing value. Nothing works without you. That puzzle isn't complete without that one piece, and that's you. Don't you underestimate who and what you are. All are equal. No one above or below you. No one below you. Ignorance, your best teacher. We're going into all of it right now, a great awakening. And a golden era is in store for us, but it's still not locked in unless you choose it. Please subscribe. And you guys have seen this. Those are videos, free videos. We are creating online businesses. We're getting training with amazing people. My mentors, who I've been with for over 8 years, have taught me how to create my businesses, how to reach audiences. You can do it with fear, or you can do it with love. Imagine the difference you could make if that's what you're into. Take your skills or talents or your passion and learn how to put it online and reach global audiences. Don't be afraid of technology. I learned it. If I can learn it, you can. So those are free videos. And also, you know, I have free stuff, amazing free stuff, courses, master classes, all kinds of meditations, free. And then I have my paid courses that if you want to be instructed by me personally, come on over. Every single one of my students has seen an amazing result, and they have documented it. So it works, and it's real simple, and you can do it, and it starts today. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.